How's business and what brings you out to the region this time?
Well, I would say, coming to the region it's a natural fit, because if you think about the Middle East, it is the nexus of energy capital markets and real estate capital markets. And you have this unique dynamic where everything is a development market. I mean, this is one of the kind of most active construction markets in the world. So when you think about the imperative to decarbonize the real estate industry, this is just a natural place because you merge knowledge of the energy transition and all the geopolitics around the energy transition with real estate capital markets. I would say venture has changed quite a bit in the last year. We've seen just a secular retraction of valuations, and you're just seeing investors kind of just remove their interest from growth. But at the same time, I think while that has happened in software, climate tech is absolutely exploding. And you're seeing just from the public sector, I would say an unprecedented mobilization of capital to climate tech startups, not just in North America, but now in Europe as well. And so that's providing some tailwinds to the space.
So we see a lot of VCs coming out to the region, here in the UAE, in Saudi and Qatar, elsewhere, to have meetings and conversations with the sovereign wealth funds. Is it harder to do business in the region or easier to do business in the region? And what's the feedback that you're hearing from these state investors about their willingness to do deals?
I think we're actually seeing quite a high level of willingness from the region. And I think the reason for that is that, when everyone's running for the exits, right, when valuations get cheaper, it's a great time to buy. And this is, I think, one of the few parts of the world that has long-term capital, has a very long-term mindset, and I think views this secular collision between real estate and energy and technology as being a durable trend that they want to participate in. So I actually think the large sovereign investors out here see that, and they're thinking in a very forward way about how do we position all of our allocations of real estate and all of our energy assets globally to capitalize on and be propelled by the energy transition. So I think these sovereign investors are really impressive in terms of how they've looked at this as a long-term opportunity and less of a short-term trade.
So what's the business that you want to do in the region right now? Who are you meeting and what are you trying to put together?
So we're trying to raise for a fund to help decarbonize the real estate industry. And so we're obviously meeting with large capital allocators to the real estate industry, a lot of whom are here, right here in the UAE, but throughout the whole GCC region. Most people are surprised to learn that real estate is the single largest industry emitter of CO2. So most people think of transportation or manufacturing, but real estate is 40% of global emissions. And it's this very hard to mitigate industry, and it's this industry that historically has invested very little in the tech to decarbonize. So one of the unique opportunities is that there's about $18 trillion just in the US that is expected that be required to be spent on the tech to decarbonize physical assets, basically everything with a roof. Homes, buildings, factories, malls, all of it need to be decarbonized. And what's really impressive is that I think investors have missed this opportunity for probably 5 years, but they've focused instead on agriculture and transportation. And now the focus and the attention has shifted to real estate. And I expect with the upcoming COP here in the UAE, you'll see even more of that focus.